Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome back to a whole nother video I have here. Because there's gonna be a lot of videos because I can't catch a break. I'm a busy guy, dude. I have a lot of stuff going on. So yeah, there's quite a few videos I still have to make here. Hopefully this one, I'm gonna try to break them up a little bit so it's not like one video with multiple topics. I'm going to try to keep the videos to one, maybe two topics at a time at the minute as maximum kind of thing. So I'm not like, oh, I have like multiple different topics to talk about. Like, I'm going to try to break it up so it's not so long for y'all and that it's like per topic and be more concise. So it's like if you want to hear about this thing, you just go and watch that shorter video, as opposed to like a 2-hour video with me going over a few different things to try to catch up. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to hit pause and then hit record and then hit pause and hit record again, okay? So, let's get started. Again, I am a little bit behind. This was from the 4th of July. Now that July is almost over with, as I said, I am a little bit behind on a few things. So, yeah, let's get this done. All right.
It was a great show, a great marathon yesterday. 10:45 a.m. it began, and it ended after 8 p.m. So it went really long, and man, we did everything that we had planned on doing, which was great. It's always good when, you know, all the things that you had on the agenda get done in the time frame that
all the one things he has on his agenda to do.
And I actually had a lot of fun
money
with all of you. I really did. And I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Now, here's the thing. It took a long time to get all those videos up on my channels because that was like, you know, 9-10 hours of footage. And he
can't just leave the stream up. He has to cut it up into different videos.
I said I had some issues with some corruption as well. But all the videos should be live. So let's talk what happened yesterday so you know exactly what went down and what you want to watch. So we started off with a level 1 podcast where I revealed my summertime garb. I was actually wearing a nice, like relaxing summertime loose shirt, button down. And people were like, you never wear that kind of clothes.
Oh my God, we're freaking out. He's wearing other clothes. Why would anyone care what he's wearing?
I constantly just started wearing, you know, like gamer t-shirts.
Why does that matter?
And this has become my attire pretty much every day whenever I'm working for the last 15 years. And people were like, whoa, well, we actually like how you look.
Well, that's because you wear the same fucking... Well, I say why would anyone care, and now I'm saying this, but I get it. But it's like he wears the same gamer t-shirts he wore since he was, like, a teenager, and he's still wearing it now, even though they're, like, multiple sizes too small for him. And you can see his tits and all that shit now. I'm like, what the fuck? So, yeah, so I guess it does make a little sense why people were shocked when all of a sudden he wears something more age-appropriate, but...
Look, because I was wearing, you know, a different kind of shirt. I was wearing sunglasses. My hair was a little different. As you can see today, I actually did not brush down my hair with water. I just kind of brushed it with a hairbrush.
With grease instead.
And people were like, whoa, like you look different. We like
Not
that.
really.
We like the fact that you changed your look a little bit.
Oh my God.
And I was like, well, if you
how
guys
up
really
his
like
own
that,
ass is he?
you know, every
Jesus.
once in a while we can kind of alternate. And the thing is, like, I like that kind of clothing. It was loose and it was relaxing and aerated. And in fact, yesterday when I played...
Grown-ass man, and it takes him until he's 41 years old to realize that button-up like shirts are more breathable than heavy cotton t-shirts.
Street Fighter 6, I didn't like sweat or have any issues. When I've been playing Street Fighter 6 for the last month, every single time I play that game, my blood pressure goes up and my adrenaline goes up when I'm playing it, and I end up being sweaty. Like, seriously, I'll finish playing like 2-3 hours of Street Fighter 6 and I'll be sweaty.
No, that's just because you're out of shape. I'm like, I get it. I'm out of shape too. Like, fat people, like, we sweat. I get it. It's fine.
Like, ugh. You know, it's kind of gross. But wearing that shirt...
And he doesn't shower afterwards anyway, so what difference does it make?
It's a different kind of, you know, shirt. It's more aerated. And I was like, this is super comfortable. So, since you guys liked that...
Aerated shirts, I guess.
I'll look towards maybe getting more of that kind of attire. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need more of those shirts, you know, rather than just...
Already, he's looking to milk this already. Be like, oh, maybe this could be another donation goal, guys. If you hit, instead of a vest streak, we'll have the Hawaiian shirt streak. He's already fucking trying to figure out a way to fucking finagle this into making more fucking money. What is sleazebag? Really, Phil? Sorry, I have some Pocky over here.
The gamer shirt like I wear every day. If you like that, then maybe I will look into getting more of those kind of stylish shirts for the streams. Especially because now the quality of the visuals is so much better. You can actually see what I'm
wrong. The quality of visuals still look like shit.
Wearing. You know, previously no one cared because it looked like I was a fuzzball in the corner of the screen.
Still do.
But as of this year, I upgraded my setup so much.
You did not upgrade shit! Phil, you didn't upgrade shit. You got the same shitty camera you always had, and you got really shitty LED lights in the background. How is that an upgrade, Phil? Huh? Oh wait, the camera's slightly but like one generation better than the previous camera. No, it still looks like shit.
Then now you can actually see what I look like, and you probably care about how I look, right? So, all right,
how
enough.
Vain is this guy? No one... People watch a Let's Player or whatever for them to play the fucking game. They don't give two shits what the person actually looks like. But is he really this fucking vain that he really thinks they care about what he looks like?
I head out with my wife and stuff. We'll go to a few.
Well, I mean, his dents probably do because they like are stupid like that. But
it was a shirt that originally was sold at like a department store for like $80. There's like $79.99 price tag on it. I got it at a discount store for $15. So if I can get, a few of those and put them into the rotation, it won't be every day, but maybe I could alternate where I wear like t-shirts and then I could wear shirts like the button-down shirts and different things. So I look a little different every day. I'd be down for that. That's cool with me. And especially, I appreciate the feedback because that's what I need. I need positive, constructive feedback, and people actually saying nice things is a rarity around here. So someone actually...
That's not criticism, then. That's literally just kissing your ass. There's a difference between criticism, or like criticism would help you improve. Kissing your ass won't help you at all and will just reinforce your ego. There's a difference there, Phil.
Saying, hey, you looked good yesterday.
Like, hey, you look like shit.
Wear that kind of stuff. Sounds good to me. Good advice, good feedback. Thank you. And I'll look into it. Can't do it right now. I have one shirt like that. But maybe, moving forward. Now that I think about it, I do have button-down shirts, but they're not like that one. Like, that was like a Hawaiian-style shirt. I do have other button-downs, but they're a little bit heavier. Like, they're for the fall. Like, long-sleeve button-downs. But maybe I could wear those on stream, too, for variety. I don't know. I'll think about it. All right? And by the way, now I'm wearing shorts for the season. Usually, I started wearing shorts in, like, April, May, but this year I kind of held off. But now I've started wearing shorts, so I'll be wearing shorts here every day until the fall again. All right. So,
yeah, granny shorts.
Podcast.
Oh, it was it. Over. I like this little opening we got here.
I want to address some baloney right now and get it out of the way. Because once I address this baloney, we don't have to talk about it ever again. And I literally will not. If any moron mentions it, I'm just going to slap them with my large E-phallus and take them out from my my chat. So here it is. As you guys know, basically my moronic haters like to say that everything I do is wrong. So yesterday I debuted my new setup for the month of July. And I'm like, look at this nice...
Which looks exactly the same as any other fucking setup, by the way. Like, with it, it's the same as anything. It's not anything special. He threw up a Dollar Tree flag decoration in the background, which I know that's what this video is about. But he threw up a Dollar Tree flag decoration in the background and the same shitty-ass 8-bit art, whatever you want to fucking call it, that he always fucking rotates. And it's looking like shit. I'm like, dude, you gotta do something different.
Outdoor vibe with the nice punch-out picture over here.
Is he really like trying to think that
stuff that I had previously that wasn't there for Street
classic
Fighter
stuff
month.
like
and of course, I want to be a little
Sonic?
patriotic because it is the 4th of July in a couple of days. That's American Independence Day.
We know what the 4th of July is, you
retard. Get an American
retard.
flag behind me.
Oh my god.
So of course what happens is that a bunch of morons rush to the internet and say, what's wrong with Phil's setup? What can we criticize to say is wrong? And they go and they find this rule that no one even knows. All right, literally no one knows this rule because no one pays attention to this shit anymore. We're in fucking 2023. It's not 1776, all right? But apparently there's some weird rule somewhere written that if you hang an American flag downward, that you're supposed to have the stars. I'm trying to move my head. You're supposed to have the stars on the left-hand side. Okay. Why? Oh, well, it's incredibly un-American and offensive.
Arrgh. It's incredible. Jesus Christ. So I know a lot of people have different thoughts about all this. I'm just gonna throw my 2 cents in the ring here. Like, I'm kind of with Phil on this one a little bit. I hate to be it, but like, I hate to be that person. Like, obviously, I'm not giving him props or anything, because fuck him. He's still a piece of shit, right? But at the same time, it's just a cheapo Dollar Tree fucking decoration. Who gives 2 shits what side the flag is on, right? Because, yes, it is technically in the flag code. There's a lot of other things in the flag code that a lot of people choose to overlook and not care about anyway, though. You know? Like, I'm not the most I'm not the most patriotic person when it comes to this country. Yeah, good reason, I guess, would be the country is always trying to take my rights away, as a LGBT American person. So that kind of tends to eliminate a lot of patriotism you might end up having for a country, your own country, right? So, not the biggest fan of the US of A as of late, especially the fucking Supreme Court, but I digress. Like, it's ironic because they are the people he's talking about are referring to the flag code, and I'm not insinuating that the same people that are complaining to Phil about this is the people I'm about to talk to. I'm not insinuating they're the same people, right? I'm not. But, like, there's a ton, like, a vast majority, especially where I live, because I live kind of, like, in the boondocks. You got a lot of hillbillies, you got a lot of rednecks type of thing, right? So you got a lot of extremely patriotic, but it's like toxic patriotism, you want to call it? I don't know exactly what to call it. Propaganda, like, they're indoctrinated into the patriotism propaganda that America's number one and blah blah blah, every other country sucks because America's number one. So they're kind of like indoctrinated into that line of thinking, because that's just what Fox News propagates, I guess. I love this country. This country is great. Let's take away the rights of everyone but me. Like, but, but, like, these people, I'm not being, you know what I mean. Conservative, patriotic Americans love to put the flag on fucking everything. They'll have the flag on clothes, on a cap, on bandanas, paint their car in the American flag. Like, literally, they slap the American flag on everything. When, if you look at the actual flag code, like, the majority of what they do with the flag on clothes and stuff like that, that's against the flag code. So it's like, yeah, no, you shouldn't be doing any of that shit, because it is technically against this flag code that they claim to be so patriotic for. But these same people will freak out because the White House had a pride flag also hanging on the White House. So these same people who have, like, the flag all over their clothes and everything were complaining that it's against the flag code to have the pride flag next to an American flag, even though what they are wearing is also against the flag code that they're using as a weapon. Does that make sense? So I think it's kind of stupid altogether anyway. Not the actual flag, I don't think the flag is stupid. I'm not saying that. I'm just getting caught up on semantics about what the flag code does or doesn't say. It's kind of silly because like most people don't even really know what the flag code is anyway, and a lot of people who actually pretend to care about the flag code are the ones that have like the flag plastered on everything. That is like also in and of itself against the flag code. So like I don't really care that much about that. Again, and not having a huge amount of respect for the country, but I do respect the men and women who are willing, who go and fight to defend our freedoms. The dwindling amount of freedoms we actually still have, or the illusion of the freedoms that we still have, but I still respect people who actually go and fight for us, right? So, full respect for every person who has served and is serving in our country. God bless you guys, because I would never do that. But, and I do respect the flag itself, but again, I'm not really caring that much about the flag code. And like, because most of Americans, honestly, I don't think really care. So I'm kind of siding with Phil a little bit on here. I think it is kind of silly to care too much about what side of the star should be on, especially when this looks like a Dollar Tree thing that doesn't even have the flag on the other side of it. Because let's be honest, this is just one of those like door decor things he probably found at like, I'm trying to think where he would probably even go shop. He's not going to actual Dollar Tree, but he's going to like, doesn't go to Walmart. They probably sold it at Target or something, and it's probably one of those things where it's like it's just meant to hang on a door. And if you look at the back, it's probably not even like a reverse of it. It's probably just like white on the back or blank on the black. It's not like double-sided, so it's not like you could probably flip it anyway. So it's just one of those cheapo little decals you hang for July 4th and Independence Day and all that, you know?
To have the stars on the right-hand side. Why? It's a fucking flag, you idiot. It's a piece of cloth. It's not a living being. It can't be offended by you because you hung it a certain way. It doesn't have an identity. It doesn't identify as a flag that must be hung a certain way, okay. You fucking idiot. It's a piece of cloth. Like, how dumb can you be, right? So anyway, here's the funny part about this, right? This is not actually an American flag at all. This is a decoration. I went to a store called World Market, and I was, just looking around on my day off, killing some time, and they have this decoration. Now, I'd like to show you something, because you're going to have a good laugh along with me. You ready for this? I don't know why I'm wasting time entertaining this, but I find it hilarious to entertain my haters, because sometimes they're just such mouth-drooling morons. I really enjoy this. You ready for this? Okay. So, are you ready for the big reveal? Okay, here we go.
Nice gym shorts.
All right, ready? So, I'm going to flip the flag to not be offensive. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Guess what?
That's what I thought. It's just white on the other side.
It's not even printed on both sides, you fucking idiots. It's not a real American flag. It's a decoration. Look, it doesn't even have coloring or anything on this fucking side. It's not a real flag, dunce.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was just a
stupid. People are so
decal
dumb.
Piece of shit thing
so
that.
I did it like this. Now, now Phil has a faded flag in the background and it looks terrible. It's not a flag at all. By the way, it was probably made in fucking, in Singapore or
yeah, it probably
Taiwan
wasn't even made in
China. It's probably not even an American product. It's not real. You fucking idiot. All right, you're dumb.
I mean, it's supposed to represent the actual flag.
God, people are stupid.
But I kind of figured that it was just not printed on both sides. Slam against Slayer. He's me to play me to that shithole Singapore that Slayer loves to fucking show all the time.
So, if I see one single person mention it again in my chat, you will be permanently banned, and I will laugh at you because you're an idiot. Because these people are so insanely stupid. They just want to nitpick every little thing possible on my stream. Oh, he's hanging the American flag wrong. It's not even the American flag. It's just a decoration. It's not a real flag. It's not made to standard. It probably doesn't even have the right number of stars. They're probably not even stars. They're probably
well, count them then. Count them for us. 1, 2, 3.
Who cares? It's a fucking decoration.
Phil, how many flags should the
my God, some people,
how many stars should the actual flag have? Do you know, Phil?
So up your own ass about little things like this in life, it means your life's too easy. Really. If you go around,
now we got the
assumptions
over here.
A flag being hung in an incorrect manner, and you're actually going to make a big deal about it, you need a life. Because it means you have absolutely nothing going on in your life that's time-consuming or challenging. You're living too easy. So let me know who you are. I would like to send you some of my problems. I will actually send you a nice box full of real life.
Oh yes, because we all know Phil is the king of suffering, and he has more problems than anyone else on this earth, because he has to sit down and play games every day. Oh, it must be terrible.
Problems that you could deal with, so you don't have to bother with my fucking setup here on stream and complain about it.
All
right?
your problems, including your crippling WWE Champions addiction, maybe that?
Alright.
Where the hell did he go?
Alright. So now that I've dealt with...
Now that you've probably insulted every...
what did I just say?
Now that you've probably insulted every single person who has a family member in the military service right now?
I said every single person who's going to bother with it is gone for good. So I'm already going to start the cleansing. It's like a nice facial scrub. You get all the...
And then he wonders why he's like losing memberships and viewers all the time.
Your pores out, all that disgusting grease comes off. I can't wait to do that right today on this nice chill vibe stream that's not going to be ruined by a bunch of fucking idiots, right? Very nice.
Finding the perfect
ad? What the hell is this shit?
Is hard, especially when it comes to your bank.
I need banana.
Fucking ad blocker failing on me over here. Every once in a while, it just fails for some reason.
Tasty banana, put banana in my mouth. Squeeze the peel, it comes in. Squeeze banana. Oh yeah, I hear fireworks exploding outside right
What loud?
now. I do. I hear fireworks exploding outside. People setting them off.
Oh no.
But no, they don't allow fireworks in my neighborhood. However, just outside of my neighborhood, I can hear them going off. What the fuck?
Oh, it's Far Cry 5?
You get fucking fireworks on the screen. Liberated. No, we live in a private community. Private community, you can just go outside and start shooting off fireworks. It's not allowed. Just like we can't do a garage sale. We can't do a cookout in the public walking area in the back without permission.
Wow, kind of seems like you're giving up a lot of your freedoms just for the privilege of living in a gated community? Oh, but it's so safe. And the fact that he lives in a gated community is the #1 reason why he has so many issues with DoorDash and everything. Because all these DoorDashes and shit that he always does all the time, and they can't find his house properly and all this, it's because the gated community is so complicated and all this bullshit. So, like, it's basically like... I mean, I don't think he has one, but it's basically like buying a home, but you still have a HOA, like a homeowners association. And I will never, in my life, join a homeowners association or buy a house that's in one, because that's the most fucked up bullshit thing ever. If I buy a home, you're not going to tell me what I can and can't do with my own property on my own land. That's not a thing that's happening there. That's bullshit. I never agree. I never like that. I will agree to that. Like, I would rather rent an apartment than own a home in a HOA. Sorry, that's not happening.
That's
it's such bullshit.
In an area with a common area.
Why would you waste all that money to own property and own a home?
Pay good money for peace and quiet around here, dang
if you don't have control.
Had enough. We had enough of the wild.
What is he talking about?
The wild people out there doing weird, wild things. We've had enough of them.
Oh, dude, they're doing weird and wild things like celebrating the independence of our country and all this. Again, I'm not that patriotic or whatever, but it's an excuse for people to get drunk and have a party, and that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna use any excuse they can get to drink beer and light shit on fire. Ooh, fireworks on fire, but
That with them.
it's fun. But he doesn't know what the hell fun is.
Ah, fucking fireworks. Damn it.
That's right. You follow the rules, you get the hell out. But once you get to live here, you realize why the rules are worth following. Because it's quiet.
What is this, a dictatorship? Like, is this a the dictatorship cul-de-sac of Philip Burnell over here? What the fuck?
It's nice. It's a great place to live, let me tell you. Best place I've ever lived.
He would be one of those Germans in World War II that, like, gave Jews away appointed Jews out to the Nazis to have them taken away because they were upsetting his way of life or something. Does that make sense? Is that too far? I don't know. But he would be the ones who would totally go along with the Jewish... Yeah. He would be the ones who would go along with the Nazi regime because they would make things safer in his area. That's the kind of guy he is. And I've always kind of thought that, like, he would totally go along with any dictatorship or fascist regime because it would mean a safer, quieter neighborhood for him. And all the people he didn't like would be gone or whatever, you know? That's what I always kind of felt with him.
Either you abide by the rules or you're out of here. Okay. Yoshino, I'm glad you enjoyed the summer marathon. And my neighbors only hear me raging if it's like the spring and I have the window open and I'm screaming and it goes right out the window and they can hear it. That's about it. You'd have to be standing right in front of my house in the street to hear me. Outside of that, I've outright asked my neighbors, you know, do you hear me when I'm streaming or whatever? The answer is no. And the reason is because over here, that's another room across the hallway. And apparently here, I actually believe is a nook/big closet on this end of the house and the house over. So basically these two walls, it doesn't go to anything where anyone would be able to like sit there and hear me talk, which is good, obviously. People want to hear me raging at games, right? Okay.
You don't really rage at games anymore, then.
Oh boy. Say uncle.
SB Plato says, when you played Spider-Man a long time ago, your neighbor yelled at you to shut up. Yes, that was over a decade ago at a different place that I used to live. I don't know why on earth you think I'm still there. That's really stupid. My neighbor was a drunken idiot who would sit on his back porch completely drunk every night. And if he heard any noise, he would yell at people. And he frequently would be so drunk, he would lock himself outside of his house in the middle of the cold of winter. And then he would bang on my door to try to let him back into the building because he was freezing his ass off out there in his underwear. So that's the kind of person my next door neighbor was in Connecticut. You know, complete asshole jackass.
I'm sure they thought the same of you, though, didn't they, Phil?
That condo sucked ass. Like, no exaggeration. That place stunk. I mean, it was my first place living by myself. Previously, I had lived outside of my parents' home by having a 3-bedroom apartment that I shared with 2 roommates.
Maybe you should have just... So his first place, living totally on his own, and he buys a condo? Why wouldn't you just rent a 1-bedroom apartment, then? Why did you need a whole-ass condo? Oh, it's because he wanted to impress that girl. That's why. He wanted to impress his coworker. And she ended up having a boyfriend anyway.
That was pretty nice. But that place was too small. It was super cold in the winter. It was always hot as shit in the summer. The neighbors were assholes. It was way too expensive. The internet was fucked up. The landlord was a piece of shit who would never show up to do anything to help. It was a joke. I hated that fucking place with a passion. Like I said, the only reason I actually moved there was for my old office job. But I don't know why we're talking about that tonight. It was long since past history.
This condo, I'm stuck with a condo in Connecticut that's worth shit. I can't sell it and I can't rent it. So it's just draining on my finances every fucking month.
You could have sold it.
And I can't get rid of it.
He easily could have sold
your
it.
snake creatures, your Slytherin heritage would appear in Diablo 4. Yeah. The power of Slytherin. Remember when we first started playing this last month, we actually hit all of our tips goals, and I put on the Slytherin hat and the Slytherin scarf for you guys. But since then, I don't think we actually hit tips goals for anything ever again. So,
yeah, you
we
have.
never actually talked about it after that. Playthrough quieted down right away. All the hype, which I knew it would.
Oh, for that game he's talking about. I thought he meant in general.
That this game wasn't going to get a lot of hype. It's such a grindy, repetitive game. It's meant to be like a chill thing. It's not meant to, oh, this is like mainstream super hype. Some people thought it was going to be, and I was like,
I was talking about Diablo.
Hype on my stream.
Sorry.
Like you know, naturally. Okay, there's a stream, there's just not a lot of contributions, maybe it's a dead stream or whatever, who knows. Fine. From Guitar Player, how's it going? He says, hopefully I'll get lucky this year and not have a bunch of idiots shoot off firecrackers in my apartment parking lot. I wish you the best of luck there, Guitar Player. No one's allowed to do it in my neighborhood, yet we are still hearing it around us in the surrounding areas. So it's really, you know, it's kind of unavoidable this time of year in the United States. It is what it is. You just got to kind of deal with it for, you know, a few days to weeks to months. Because, yes, people are that stupid. They'll do it all summer because they're moronic. I feel for you, though. Thank you, Guitar Player, for the tip. Seriously, like, that guy, he's such a two-faced fat piece of shit. It would be great if we could get some more members, guys. You see, we lost a ton of members. Essentially, this
more
month has been a
begging,
tough
of
one
course.
because I've been trying to juggle 3 RPGs while playing Street Fighter.
Excuses,
essentially,
excuses,
no one's
excuses.
really superbly happy. I think people who like Street Fighter are the happiest, but it's been
Yeah,
tough.
because that's all you've been playing
when
lately.
Stuff like that is going on. You're juggling so much, it's hard to please anyone. So, you know, the memberships went by the
I'm always
wayside.
playing a Street Fighter 6, so yeah.
But at the same time, if it ends up being like, well, we only get a small group of people who really care, and it ends up not being a very popular thing where, you know, this is kind of a dead stream, then I'm not going to be doing it regularly. You know what I mean? Mika asked, would I fight LTG in Street Fighter 6 if he accepted? I've already told you guys that I did send him a message at one point to see if he was interested, and he never responded, meaning he's not interested. Now, this morning, someone had said something about that free 1-up apparently has come back, and is starting to make YouTube shorts of Street Fighter 6. Someone said, would you play him in a set? To which I said, yes, I would play free 1-up in a set. This is the guy who I did an epic set with back in the early days of Street Fighter 4.
Oh my god, no one
and I would absolutely
cares.
play a set with him too. But for me,
He's
if anyone
just
wants
trying to
contact
use
me,
these
I'm a
people
public
to
figure
try
with
to,
many
like,
ways to contact me. You know what I mean?
weasel
Like,
himself
you reach out,
back
a
into
private
the
message on
FGC,
Twitter,
like,
you can
no
tweet me,
one cares,
You can send me an
Phil.
email. You can come to my stream. There's many ways to reach out to me. I don't want to bother these people.
There's
I'm
many
not
ways to
actively
reach out
seeking
to
that.
you,
Like, would it be cool to do a set against someone, a notable YouTuber? Yeah, it would. Do I care? I mean, I'm not going out of my way to do it. I don't really care. It's all, if you guys want to see it, I would say it's on you guys if you're really interested and if you have ways to contact these guys and talk with them.
All right, that's enough. I think that just is the end of it. Let me just see. That's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother thing. Should we? I know I said I was just gonna, but I don't see any real other. Like, for these 4 here, I don't really see myself. Like, they're all short, separate kind of clips, and they're not really gonna go together in any one cohesive package. So I think maybe I'll just continue for these 4. Because, like, even if I was to make a separate video, like, there's no cohesive thing I could group them together in. And I'm not going to make one for every single little
like, that's crazy.
2-minute clip.
But potentially, like I've told you guys, I've enjoyed being my own boss for so long.
Oh,
I absolutely, positively could be someone who continues to make content of some capacity forever. You gotta be kidding me!
Yeah, we know, because you have absolutely no plans for retirement. So you're going to be like, if you even make it to 60, you're going to be like some old-ass geezer trying to play games online.
You gotta be kidding! It just doesn't have to be a full-time capacity, right? Instead of being the guy who's here 6 days a week full-time playing video games and podcasting, I could be the guy who part-time is doing discussion shows and podcasting and current events and news discussions, and maybe every once in a while casually dabbling in a video game here or there that I really enjoy, but it's not necessarily my full-time thing forever. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yes, it is.
Like, the future's so bright, I gotta wear shades. But again, you know, those things, here's what I found.
Look at this rocking.
If you are
Holy
someone
shit.
who can sit down at any point in your life and you can look and say, in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, here's my plan and I'm sticking to it, you are living a life of luxury. You're living a life of insulation. For the vast majority of my life, I have never known
What? He is saying this? He is saying this. Oh, because he doesn't have a stable income and stable job. But he gets away with literally everything. He gets away with a bankruptcy he shouldn't have gotten away with. he gets away with so many issues and they'll get overturned. I'm surprised Twitch hasn't welcomed him back, knowing the luck that he usually has. I'm surprised they haven't, like, oh, we made a mistake, come on back, Phil. Because that's what he's probably waiting on. But you're fucking saying this. You're the most privileged motherfucker I know, Phil. What the fuck are you talking about?
Was going to be happening in just a year or two, let alone 5 years, 10 years, 20 years.
Holy
Take a look
shit.
at my life. Just look back 5 years.
Oh, we're looking at your life, Phil.
Today,
you're still
right?
very fucking privileged.
How different and tumultuous my life was. Another 5 years. Every 5 years, my life is completely changed. So how anyone has this crazy luxury of saying, I'm going to plot out my life, and in 20 years, I'll have a 401...
In 5 years ago, you were begging your chat for $10 and $5 tips to pay your rent. And today, you're begging your chat for $5 and $10 tips to pay your fucking rent. To quote Keemstar, not a lot has changed, actually, Phil. You're still the same beggar man you were back then. If not even more paranoid and crazy.
1K that's fully funded, I'll be able to retire nicely and not make YouTube videos and do that.
That's the luxury of having a stable actual job, Phil. The thing you don't want to do for life, that's the luxury of having an actual job, is to save for retirement, have a 401k, that kind of thing.
That's a crazy luxury in life. There's no plan B. I never had an opportunity to have a plan B. Seriously.
And there's tons of people that were less popular than him, that made less money than him, that are retiring from YouTube because they didn't blow all their money. But because he doesn't know how to save any money whatsoever, he's still in this predicament.
Like, you're lucky if you're able to do that. Be happy that your parents probably provided you with financial stability.
Oh, and now it's his parents' fault. It's not his fault that he doesn't know how to save. It's his parents' fault he doesn't know how to save. Wow. Fuck you, Mom and Dad Burnell, Dave, and... what the hell was her name? Was it Phyllis? Oh, God, I can't remember. No, not Phyllis. What? I can't remember what her name was, but like, oh yeah, fuck Dave and... Because Dave's his father. I don't remember what his mom's name was. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, fuck you guys. You raised me like shit, and I'm a piece of shit because of you. Wow, this is some great therapy session we got going here, Phil.
In your youth, so you could get an education, you could go out and get a great job. You could have
and now he's blaming his education again. Because he wasn't automatically given a scholarship because he was white.
a family right away and your stability and all that. A lot of people on this planet don't have that. I've never had that. In my entire life,
He's
I've never
acting
had
like
that
he
stability.
wasn't born in America.
It's always something
Like he
fluctuating,
was born in a
uncertain, weird, and different.
world country.
I didn't choose that life. That's the life that I stumbled into, and the cards that I was dealt, and I'm just doing the best with what's handed to me. You understand?
Bullshit.
I wish
What a
that I could
piece
tell
of
you
shit.
that, yes, I have a 20-year plan that by the time I'm in my early 60s, I have a fully funded 401k. And
You
I
had a
can stop making
10-year-old
videos
plan,
entirely,
but
right off
you gave
into
up
the
on
sunset
that.
of retirement. It's not possible right now. Plan for retirement. Dude, I can't pay my day-to-day bills. Right now, my bank account is overdrawn. I'm not even kidding you. Right now, my bank account is overdrawn. There's no money for retirement. At one point in my life, much earlier in my life, I was saving money for retirement, and that's all been spent because I had to spend so much money to make ends meet out here. So,
Well, then why did you move to
yes,
Seattle?
maybe. Right now, I'm just trying to get to the point where I'm stable every month. I'm paying all of my stuff. I'm not behind on anything. And I have enough flexibility so that if something goes wrong, like my car breaks down or my fucking tire gets stolen, right? Or I get something breaks in the house or a piece of
Tire gets stolen, aka it got a flat and I had to change it and replace it.
equipment breaks, I need to quickly replace it, then I have the flexibility to do that right away. Once I'm to that point, then you can look and say, oh, maybe now I have a little bit extra every month I can put aside for something, right? But right now,
Okay, chat, I'm gonna disprove one thing right now. It's a little bit of a personal story. But I gotta tell it because it's related to this, okay? So, I mean, I have a little bit of a spending issue myself. I do spend a little bit more than I probably should. I do have a little bit of an issue saving money. A little bit. Little tiny bit. Issue saving money. I buy a little too much anime. Buy a little too much video games. Not saving up enough. But I'm not going around blaming my parents for that. If anything, my mom always taught me that I should save. And I just never listened to her. And it's like spending addiction deep down is like trying to fill an empty void in you left by something. Left by neglect, trauma, something, right? And you're trying to fill that with material possessions. And it never actually works. And I'm seeing a therapist about this. I am trying to work through it and better myself because of that. But it's not because of how you're brought up, really. Especially with gambling addictions. Like, no, it's not. I mean, I don't have a gambling addiction, but it's similar. And it's like, still, no, like, this isn't because of how your parents raised you, though. I'm not going around blaming my mom for me spending too much stuff. It's just a shopping spending addiction that I have. And if anything, she was always super frugal and trying to teach me how to save and everything. And it just never clicked in my brain for whatever reason, right? I'm not blaming her. How much of a piece of shit do you have to be to blame your shortcomings on your fucking parents, man? Even if your parents are assholes, like, that's still fucked up to blame everything that goes wrong in your life on your parents. No, you have to take some fucking responsibility yourself sometimes. I fucking do. Jesus Christ.
I wish I had. I'm not even to that point of just even Steven before I can start looking to say, oh, there's extra to put aside now. Do you understand?
Wasn't this after his bankruptcy?
Come fucking... Oh, my God. Oh my God. Well, I've got another dollar tip. This doesn't even make sense. Since you're crowdfunded, you have to always depend on people, even if you stop playing games. What could you do to make money for yourself, but also not have to be crowdfunded? Nothing. Literally everything in life is crowdfunding. Literally everything. But if you have your own business, you rely on the customers to come fund your business and buy your product.
I forgot about this. What? That's not crowdfunding, Phil. It's supply and demand. There's a difference. Like, you would have the supply, people are wanting the supply, and they pay you for that supply, and you provide it. That's not crowdfunding. Crowdfunding would be Mickey D's being, hey, come on in and donate so we can keep the lights on and keep making burgers for you. Oh, you still gotta buy the burgers yourself, but help us donate. So, like, when you buy a Big Mac, you gotta give twice as much for the Big Mac to help us keep the lights on so we can sell you a Big Mac next time. That's the equivalent of what the fuck he's saying right now. Like, no, that doesn't make any fucking sense, Phil. And if he actually, he prides him. Oh my God, this fucking. He prides himself on never taking sponsorships and everything, right? I never take sponsorships. Like, Phil, if you took sponsorships, that would be you not crowdfunding and actually providing actual money for yourself instead of fucking begging all the goddamn time.
If you work for a company, you rely on that company to provide a workplace and employment and work to do. Everything is always dependent on something else. There's literally nothing on planet Earth that's 100% dependent on yourself. Doesn't exist. You know me? What compensation do I get? From you. You guys crowdfund me. Unless you're a hermit and you live in the fucking woods and you're chopping the trees down.
Well, first of all, you're definitely a hermit and you're not too far off from this.
Eating squirrels off the tree. But even then, you're dependent on the tree to be there and stay healthy and the squirrel to be there to eat. It just doesn't exist. You're living a fantasy life. Really. You're living a fantasy.
This man does not know how the real world works at all. At all! He just doesn't understand how actual society or economics works. How the fuck did this man graduate with a business degree. Think about a business degree. I went to college in New York, and that's not too far away from Connecticut. But my God, maybe the standards for graduating in Connecticut from college is way fucking less than that in New York. Because holy shit. I mean, Connecticut isn't even that far south. So, like, they don't even have that excuse. What the fuck, Bill? How do you not understand how finance works? I mean, I don't understand that much about, like, economics or anything, but I at least understand the bare minimum, and that's not crowdfunding, you dummy.
World doesn't exist. What you're saying is a myth perpetrated by people who like to feel safe on this planet, when in reality there's no such thing as safety. Because at any moment the sun could go supernova and we're all dead.
That's not related to crowdfunding, though. How is that? What? How is that related to crowdfunding? I mean, he is technically correct. I mean, we could all die at any fucking second, but that has absolutely nothing to do with crowdfunding. Or that somehow all businesses fucking everywhere is somehow crowdfunded? No, like, he's misunderstanding, like, actual crowdfunding from, like, again, supply and demand. Now, like, that's kind of the whole thing. Like, you as a company research what is selling good. Oh, these Gucci bags are selling really good. Or, oh, these fancy women are really buying these, like, really fancy bags. I'm going to make a company called Gucci, and I'm going to sell these really fancy bags and advertise it as this, like, top-of-the-line, super fucking luxurious item that all the women must have, right? And I put myself out there, I put effort into it to create a product that people are going to want based on research and everything. And then the people are going to come in and pay money for that product, and I'll use that money to make more product so that more people will come in and blah, blah, blah. It's a cycle of shopping, whatever. That's not crowdfunding, though. Crowdfunding would be a woman coming in being like, I really want a bag. Here's $20 and leave without the bag. Be like, maybe next time or the time after that, eventually when I come in and keep giving him $20, he'll eventually give me a bag. What? No, that's not how economics or capitalism works at all. What? Oh my God.
There's no safety. Space aliens could come down and liquid.
Safety? Now we're on to safety. Like, how do we go from crowdfunding, you being a crowdfunding piece of shit beggar man, to safety all of a sudden?
Liquefy us all with a...
Like, I think I get, like, he's trying to tie it into, like, no job is fully safe or secure or stable, because he's obviously very, worried about stability, especially being a YouTuber and his views dropping really bad lately and all that shit, right? So, like, I think he's maybe worrying about that a lot. And now, so he's making these, like, massive, radical, drastic, scenarios out of nowhere. It'd be like, oh, well, I know you have an office job and a 401k and 4 years from retirement, but space aliens could come and blow your fucking shit up and you'll be dead. And then what? What was the point of having a stable income and a 401k when you're just gonna be dead by space aliens the next day, dude? Like, what? No. I mean, obviously we could all, like, die suddenly, like, unexpectedly and everything. Like, no one can account for everything. But it makes sense to try to, like, minimize possible negative future interactions by preparing the best you can for them and everything.
Gone in 5 seconds. There's nothing we can do. In life, nothing's certain.
Yeah. So in life, nothing's certain. So never prepare for anything and just ride by the seat of your pants and hope everything works out. And hey, if it doesn't work out, you can always beg to your audience for more money, right?
No safety. Stop that ridiculous feeling right now. Oh, but what are you going to do to insulate yourself? You can't insulate yourself, ever. Doesn't exist. To do what I love to do, and because you crowdfund me, I'm able to stay true to myself. But if you didn't crowdfund me and instead I relied on, you know, all this income or all this input from companies or sponsors or someone giving me the shit for free, you know what I mean? Because they made it and they want me to kiss its ass, I wouldn't be who I am today. I would be a completely different person.
So you wouldn't be anything.
I would probably be Greg Miller. I would probably be these big time fucking streamers who I don't even want to mention their names because they're assholes and they'll probably talk shit about me on social media.
No, you would find a way to fuck it up long before you actually got really popular or really big, though, Phil. Let's be honest. Even if you did actually take sponsorships, which I don't get either, because, like, yeah, you say for, like, a 2-second ad in the beginning of a video for your sponsorship, whatever, upsell it. You don't have to, like, totally lie, but you're like, yeah, this is a really cool product, it's really whatever. And then you go on and make a normal-ass video. They can't dictate the content of your entire fucking video. As long as you're not talking bad about the product afterwards in the video, you're fine. And most people fucking do sponsorships. But he would find a way to fuck it up way before he got that big.
If I say anything. Anyway, only I 7 did a super chat says go to Kick. I don't see any reason to go to Kick. I enjoy being on YouTube and having my audience here. I have absolutely no aspirations to blow up and make giant money, which it seems like everyone who's running to Kick is exactly what they want. Oh, the Twitch party's over. Run to Kick. That's the new...
Yeah, why would any streamer want to be popular and want to have more eyes on their product? That's just crazy. I mean, come on. Why they should be at level 1 down here with me and never have any aspirations for success ever again.
New land of milk and honey where you can do whatever you want and make big bucks. Anything for this, right? Why do I need to do that? I'm not looking to do that. I'm not going to ever get virally popular on Kick or anywhere else. I'm happy being who I am with the audience I have. I'm not being complacent. I'm being a realist. These people who jump from trend to trend, this is what they're doing. They're just trying to stay on top of this big money-making game. To them, that's what it is. It's a game. Get the bag. That's not what this is for me. It's not get the bag. If it was get the bag, I would have taken every money-making opportunity I was presented. And if you haven't noticed, I've turned down a lot of them. You see?
Very important. We gotta do things properly here. Make sure we don't make any terrible decisions.
I think this is the same thing we just watched. Let me just check.
Do things better than I used to, right? And essentially get myself to a more financial... But to me, it's just like... From my perspective, years before today, right? How different and tumultuous my life was. Another 5 years, what's handed to me. You understand? Even before I can start looking to say, oh, there's extra to put aside now. Do you understand?
It's the same thing. So next one.
Dollar, he says, you know, all things considered, he does think that probably the whole amnesia situation last night was, as I said, that it was really troll orchestrated.
Wrong.
He says, do you think this ever happened before?
Because it's paranoia.
It's happened before. I absolutely guarantee you. You know, here's the thing. I'm not constantly following what these idiots are doing. Maybe I should. Maybe I should have fucking spies. I know it sounds insane because it is. You have spies in place watching Detractor content, telling me at all times what they're up to, so I know what they're fucking...
Which he does, basically, anyway. Like, he does. Like, because, like, when I was on, like, Taking L's stream, like, a couple weeks back, and that idiot Tony Pizzaroni, whatever, came in, and he's a huge fucking Phil fan, and whatever, it is what it is. But it's like, he has people that are watching Detractor content and reporting back to him, because he seems to know all the different memes and all the different things of what we're supposed to be talking about him and everything about. So either he himself is watching us, or he has someone else watching us and relaying the information to him. But if that's the case, then shouldn't he know that no actual restreamer actually sent anyone over to him? Because, like, no restreamer sent anyone over to you, Phil. So which one is it? Do you actually have people watching or no? Because no one fucking did that.
Malicious plans are, so they can't fuck with my streams. You would think, as a 41-year-old man who just operates casualized gameplay streams, that I shouldn't have to do that. but these people are so obsessed and so out of their fucking minds over someone as small time as me. I mean, maybe you did, I know it's insane. I'd have undercover fucking people go into a troll stream and tell me what they're planning.
Oh my god. Oh yes, the pity me segment, because I'm such a small little streamer. We're not doing this because you're a big or small streamer, Phil. We're doing this because you're a piece of shit. Like, if you're just bad at video games, no one would give a shit about you, and no one would make fun of you for that. Because it is what it is. You can still be bad at video games and still be an entertaining, positive streamer, and people would actually legitimately enjoy watching your shit. But that's not the case with you. You're always a piece of shit. You always shit on your fans. You're always begging for money.
It's stupid, you know? But yeah, I want to have nights that are good for everyone. I don't want to be swayed one way or the other because I was fooled by a group of people who orchestrated something, you know? And
apparently you were fooled into continuing to play the game, so...
I'm not going to let it defeat me or make me get down on myself or whatever. You know, I'm just going to continue to play the game anyway, and they can kiss my ass, so... Okay. I received... on that, which I haven't had time for. So, Dan the Man, thank you so much. An insanely positive, generous, whopping $100 tip from Dan the Man.
Whopping!
Thank you, Dan.
It's a whopping
very, very
tip.
much. So now let's do all the festivities. Let's go ahead and let's
all the
play
festivities.
The $100 tip. Now here's the thing. I got a question for Dan the Man because he's here.
Do you want a $50 tip, or do you want a $100 tip?
It's nice attire. People like it. Since Dan is the person who did a giant contribution to make this happen, we're gonna do a hat no matter what. But would you prefer if I just stay like this so people can see the new attire, or would you like me to wear a vest? I'm gonna let Dan determine this.
You better put on a fucking vest, monkey.
All right.
Jump, monkey, jump.
If he says no vest, we
that's
won't do
the
a
whole
vest.
point,
Vest,
is for you to play dress up with your dented fans.
Right.
So you better fucking put a vest on, you piece of shit.
I'll leave it in his ballpark because he was the one who's very generous here.
Put on that really shitty gold vest.
Right?
That gold and black vest. Put that one on.
You are someone who spends all of your time focusing on other people on the internet, making fun of them, bringing them down, and calling them LOLCows. If this is your source of entertainment in your life, you should look in the mirror because there's a bigger LOLCow.
Thank you for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in the next part. All right, guys, a couple quick things. First of all, I gotta pee, so we're gonna take a very brief break just for me to pee. I'm not gonna monetize. I'm just gonna mute the mic and go use the restroom and come right back. We still got about 90 minutes left on the stream, but I'm just gonna say this.
I don't remember him having a Pokemon vest like that.
Constantly about every video. I'm just gonna ban you. I don't care, because there's a difference between someone who's like, okay, I just don't like this particular video, or just sitting here saying this whole stream's boring, this sucks, blah blah. Fuck you. Don't come to the stream then. You know what it is. You know that it's random submissions. You have no idea what the videos are going to be. Neither do I. I'm not here to sit here and field your complaints because you're an idiot who just wants to complain that everything's bad and not entertaining for you. Okay? That's number one. Number two, you'll notice the vast majority of people complaining are not channel members. If you become a channel member, you can submit the videos for next week. So if you're sitting here complaining every week the show sucks, but you never become a member and submit a video, you're just a scumbag. And I'm not going to put up with it. So literally from now on,
give me money, dude, and my content will get better.
I'm just going to ban. And I'm not going to put up with any of the nonsense anymore. Because really, it brings down the vibe of the show. When I'm enjoying what I'm watching.
Oh, yes, there's definitely a vibe here. Definitely a huge vibe going on right
People submit bad. Fuck off. No, really, get fucked. Go get fucked.
No, really.
And leave all of us alone on the internet who want to have a good time. We're tired of your toxic shit. Really.
Okay? As Mr.
Right.
Cult Leader over here.
Come right back, and we're going to continue on with the second half of the show. Thanks.
Wow, so he doesn't play any music or anything. Just total fucking dead air while he... Well, this is unrecorded, but still, like, obviously it's still live on his stream. And he just leaves it like this? Dead air and everything? No music, no nothing? I mean, his music slideshow bullshit sucks as it is, but it's better than this. And they're probably just making fun of him in the chat, too. I kind of wish it included the chat so I can see what they're fucking saying. Wow. Is that it? Does it come back?
All right, how many people got fucked when I was pissing?
What?
Hopefully a lot, right? Okay. Anyway, I will say this. I liked this video a lot, this boundary break. I know. Alrighty, everyone, welcome back to DSP versus the Internet episode.
Alright, I think this is the last one I'm gonna do today. And it's not the whole video, don't worry. It's just the first part here. I wanted to go over really quick. At least if, like, I don't know a whole lot about what it is, but I heard someone mention it, so...
Episode 22, I believe, for July 16, 2023. If you missed part 1, go check it out. In the meantime, let's continue on with our Ultra member submissions for the week. Let's see what's next.
In the case of pedophilia, we are talking about a condition which some people...
Whoa, 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 I can't hear it. That was way too low. Let me make it louder. I might need to up the volume on the stream. The volume was so low. All right, let's go back, can we?
And always remember, like, this is basically a dig on Derick. And we all kind of, I think Phil kind of knows about Derick in that aspect. He might even know quite well the kinds of things Derick likes, if you get my drift. So I think he's probably gonna defend them.
All right.
In the case of pedophilia, we are talking about a condition which...
Oh, now we have an echo.
...clearly through no fault or choice of their own.
What?
There are various theories regarding the causes of pedophilia. Some experts claim that the causes are neurodevelopmental. Differences in the brain structure of pedophiles have been noted, such as frontocortical differences, decreased gray matter. There's also evidence that pedophiles often have the attraction that they do because they themselves were abused as children. So, pedophilia...
I'm just looking at the... I'm sorry, I'm just zoning out, looking at how tall this guy's ears are. Like, I know that, like, I'm not body shaming, I'm not, right? Because, like, whatever, it's fine. But, like, his ears just look super fucking tall. Like, what is he, a fucking elf over here or something? Sorry, I digress. I'm not making fun of someone. I'm like, it's fine.
As well as environmental and developmental causes related to things like childhood stress and trauma. Furthermore, pedophilic attraction is not something that pedophiles can simply will out of their minds. Even with professional help, decades of research has found that pedophilic attraction is not something that can be cured. Rather, therapists have instead turned towards helping pedophiles resist their urges because they realize that they can't get rid of them completely. So,
like, that's just a long freaking ear. Like, holy crap.
Morally responsible for things which they have control over. In the case of desires which people have no control over, while they can be held morally responsible based on how they respond to those desires, we cannot hold people morally responsible for having the desires themselves. The point here is that we
Wrong.
non-offending pedophiles because it's not their fault that they're pedophiles. They
What?
can't control their desires, they didn't choose to have their desires, and if they haven't acted on their desires, they haven't done anything morally wrong or blameworthy, and so by no reasonable moral standard can we say that they deserve to suffer. To make this point more intuitive, imagine...
Well, I got a couple questions, even just before we even get further in. Number one, who out there is saying, and I'm not even talking just pedophilia, but in general, let's say people have bad inclinations, bad thoughts in their head, okay? So people are saying outright, like, they should be morally wrong for having those. Like, how do you know what's in someone's head to begin with? That's weird to me. Like, so we know... You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to say that something's morally reprehensible, usually the reason you know it even exists is because someone has acted upon it, correct? If something is...
They could just have told someone about it, though. Like, let's say someone is confiding in the best friend, right? And they tell someone, hey, I'm really fucked up in the head and I really like this. And it's such a bad thing that the person's like, no, that's pretty fucked up, dude. That's pretty morally fucking reprehensible right there. Like, you could confide in someone about that kind of thing. You don't have to actually act on it.
someone's head you don't even know it exists.
Or if you tell, like, telling a therapist or whatever.
How can you say something in someone's head as a thought is morally reprehensible unless that person actively chooses to act upon it? And I'll give you an example here, okay? There's some people who have awful, awful, awful thoughts in their head that they can't control. It's not their fault. It's mental illness. And they know these thoughts keep popping up. And they
the detractors, maybe? I'll take detractors for 200, Alex.
They push them to the side. They never act upon them. They don't speak upon them. But it still bothers them because they keep having them. Why?
Or are you maybe talking about yourself there, Phil?
Why do I have these thoughts? They go to psychiatrists. They go to doctors. And, you know, they talk it out. Some of them take medication. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't, Phil. Actually, I don't.
Until someone acts upon a thought, how can anyone really, like, judge them for it? You know what I'm saying? It's not like
if the person reveals what their thoughts, what those dark, disturbing thoughts are, if someone comes up to me and says, hey, yeah, I kind of am sexually attracted, well, I'm not going to say that because someone could clip that. But if someone comes up and says, hey, the person might, the person there might like pedophile or might be a pedo, right? And they come up to the person and admit that to their friend or whoever, I'm going to judge you on that. Probably a little bit. I'm going to judge you. Yeah, sorry.
Like a person is acting, I choose to have these awful thoughts in my fucking head. And, you know, some people are haunted by them. Some people are tortured by the thoughts. I don't want this fucking thought. Why does it keep coming
so
into my head? It's awful. You know.
Is he talking about intrusive thoughts? Because every human being has very fleeting, intrusive thoughts. But they usually aren't repeating over and over again. It's like a one and done kind of random thing. Where it's like, for example, you're like in the line at a grocery store, and you just want to, some person's taking super fucking long and complaining, and you just want to fucking ram your shopping cart into the legs until they fall over and stomp on their head on the ground or something like that. That would be like an example of an intrusive thought. Or if you like walk into the counter to try to make a snack and you see the sharp knives in the thing, you're like, what happens if I just stab my hand? Really? Like stupid ass, like intrusive thoughts like that. Like they happen. That's just part of being human, and we just got to ignore that. Is that what he's trying to talk about? Because usually those things, those kinds of intrusive thoughts don't repeat themselves that much. It's a one and done kind of thing. Like a random, like, brain just goes off into a what if kind of scenario. It's not usually repeating. Or are we talking more like, because I get, like, so I'm sure this happens with a lot of people, but like when you're in a high up, very tall location and you look over the ledge and you get the urge to jump, like the thought of just jumping off the high location. Like, I know that's kind of common in quite a few people. And that, that intrusive thought will always come back every time you're in a high location and looking over the edge on something. That's always going to come back. Sorry. So, like, are we talking that? Because, like, what other dark thoughts are we talking about? Are we talking, hurting yourself type of thoughts? Because, like, that's different. I don't think anyone is going to crucify and condemn someone for having self-harm thoughts, right? Like, that's a part of mental illness. No one's going to judge the actual person for having those kind of thoughts, right? Because that's a totally different thing, and that's just mental illness. And I'm no stranger to mental illness, so I'm well aware of stuff like that, if we're talking that. But I think that's slightly different from having pedophilia thoughts. Okay, that's a big difference there. I don't know. What?
They're mentally unstable because of it. They're saddened. They're depressed. They don't want to live with these thoughts.
Yeah. See, so I was right. He's talking about like depression and self-harm stuff, which is what I was thinking he was talking about. But that is totally fucking different. And no decent person is going to harshly judge someone for having thoughts like that. And again, if you have thoughts like that, like, people usually tell people about that. It's like, hey, I'm just feeling kind of depressed. I'm kind of like, want to rope myself or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like they can tell people about that before they ever act upon it. Let's hope they tell someone about it before they ever act upon it.
Some people probably end their own lives because they can't get a thought out of their head. You know what I'm saying?
That's why they go to therapy. That's why they go and talk to people about it. Because, like, if this is turning into a whole different subject, but if you have those kind of thoughts in your head, please tell someone about that. Please get some help. That's not who you are. And, like, people can help. Even if you don't get on medication, like, talk to a therapist about it, like, talk it through, work out a plan. You are loved, obviously. The people love you. They don't love Phil, but they love you. Even Phil, even if Phil was actually, like, I don't think Phil ever actually had depression. He's claimed multiple times that he was depressed. But I think he's just confusing depression with just feeling bad about your life situation or what happens in your life. Like, depression is kind of triggered randomly for no real freaking reason. Whereas he's just kind of, like, his depression, quote unquote, is a result from outside circumstances affecting his mood. That's just normal feeling bad about yourself for reasons, outside reasons, not so much hating yourself because, you know what I mean? So, like, I don't think he actually has depression, and I don't think his ego would allow him to have depression with the way his narcissism is and everything. That's just my take on that.
So,
but no one's going to judge someone just for having self-destructive thoughts.
Accountable. You're only accountable for something that you act upon and hurts people, right? I think all of us can agree in our lives, and I'm not saying pedophilia, but we've all had weird thoughts. I've had thoughts.
Are you sure?
All of a sudden, I feel like I just want to beat the shit out of someone because I'm angry about something.
Yeah, that's intrusive thoughts. That's different from what we're talking about, Phil.
I act upon it? No, I didn't. Is it morally reprehensible to beat someone up? Yes, it is. But I've had the thought, you know. When I was a kid, I used to have some thoughts about, like, for example, you know, and now it's different. But when I was a kid, like, I'd be sitting there in my room, and my window's open, right? And it's the middle of, like, a spring day. And it'd be like a loud-ass bird right outside of my window. I'd be like, I'd be angry. Shut the fuck up. I could strangle that bird. And then I would think to myself, why did I just have that thought? Strangle a bird? That's awful. I don't want to strangle the bird. The bird's a nice, it's a piece of nature. But
it's a piece of nature.
You have a bad thought of something awful. Should you be held morally accountable because you had a thought like that? You know what I mean?
That's kind of different from what we're talking about, though, Phil. I get what he's talking about now. He's talking about, like, intrusive thoughts like that. And considering he probably has a lot of rage, like, low-key building up rage kind of thing, he's probably, like, one of those quick-to-anger people. Like, it'll go from 0 to 100 in, like, 2 seconds type of thing. But, like, I mean, that's just being human. We all have, like, thoughts like that. And as long as you don't act on those thoughts, it is relatively fine. Even if you tell people, yeah, like, about it, like, I think most people can relate to that. Like, who hasn't been bullied in high school and, like, dreamed up a scenario in your head where you come in and, like, beat the kid up or curb stomp him or take a baseball bat to his knees or something like that, you know, like, but do you do it? Well, sometimes people do, sometimes people don't, you know, it's just whatever.
At one point, do the thought police come into play here, and like I can't just think of something.
Oh, are we in Minority Report land now? Oh, we got Minority Report. Oh, you are going to be arrested for a crime you haven't done yet.
You should be able to think as long as you realize after the thought occurs, this is not a thought that should continue. This is a thought
Phil, I don't know if you knew this, but I'm a psychic, and I can hear every single thing you're thinking, and you should definitely be in jail for that.
don't want to continue,
and that
I don't want to act upon it. So just because someone ends up having an awful, disgusting thought or a bad thought that they know is wrong, I don't think that they should be held morally accountable. It's if you continue to entertain those thoughts that you know are going to be harmful to others, or even yourself, or both, and then you act upon them. That's a completely different story, you see? So I don't even know, like, why do we even need to further the discussion? Like, we don't, like, what is the other 5 minutes of this video? I don't even know why it even needs to continue, right? Like, that's it. That kind of answers the question. No, you shouldn't be morally accountable just because a thought pops into your head, especially when every thought in your head is not necessarily something that you want to happen in your head. What about a dream? Should you be morally accountable for your dreams? Well, those are technically thoughts in your head, but you didn't control them. They just happen, even though they're subconscious. Oh, no, you know, morally accountable because something horrible happened in a dream in your head. No.
Like, I get what he's trying to say, but again, I think there is a difference between having reoccurring constant urges to do what they do, and there's a difference between that and having random ass, like, intrusive thoughts that come and go, never the same really that much, and just kind of pop in and go really fast. There's a difference. And to a degree, okay, so in terms of sex abusers, child abusers, whatever, if they ever act on it, obviously lock them up, and they should probably have their freedoms taken away forever. But if they never actually act on it and they are seeking help by a therapist, psychiatrist, psychologist, and as long as they never actually act on it, like, obviously, like, can you really arrest? Like, I'm kind of siding with Phil a little bit, even though he's getting the narrative wrong because he's misconstruing intrusive thoughts with, like, sexual fetishes. Like, those are two different things, Phil. Because I have some weird sexual fetishes, and I'm not going to tell you about them, but rest assured, they can't happen in real life. They're pretty much innocent because they don't exist in real life, so it's never going to happen anyway, so it's just kind of weird shit. I kind of like a lot of the Monster Girl stuff. Whatever it is what it is. It's just, and if I look at that as terms of what I like, that can never actually happen in real life or whatever, like, do we really get a choice in who or what we're sexually attracted to? No. Like, did I one day wake up and think, yeah, this is purely for example purposes only. But did I wake up one day and watch a kid's cartoon and see a giant hulking fucking dragon, be like, yeah, I want to have sex with that? No, I didn't. Where the fuck did that desire come from? I don't know. I didn't come up with it. What's some giant ass hulking female dragon? Yeah, sign me up. Sure, whatever. Right? So it's like, we can't really control what we are sexually attracted to, and that's the problem. So if they have never acted upon it and they are seeking help for their condition to try to suppress those urges and divert it to, like, a different thing that turns them on, that's fine, and they should be allowed to do that. We shouldn't be arresting people for something they never physically did, right? But if they ever acted upon it, then yes, we should hold them morally accountable. And I would go so far as to say, even if they never did act on it, we should still probably hold them accountable a bit. But again, we never really control, and like if it is based off of some fucked up trauma, it's a very touchy subject, obviously. But 100%, if they act on it, they should never see the light of day again. But Phil is not understanding the difference. He's not understanding the difference between intrusive thoughts and actual fetishes and kinks, right? He's just not understanding the difference there. Because intrusive thoughts come and go. They're not usually that reoccurring unless, like, you're considering the whole urge to jump from high places and everything. But
so the answer is no. You shouldn't be morally accountable for everything that pops in your head, but you should have the rationale.
I wonder if he's like thinking of Derek when he's saying this, though, or something.
Or happening in my head, and I certainly should never act upon it. And if it's something that's stuck in your head you can't get out, you should try to seek professional help to make sure that it doesn't keep happening, if you can, within reason. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. Okay? Fair enough. I don't even need to continue. Like, there's literally no other reason to continue in the discussion. So, okay. On to the next video, which hopefully is more lighthearted than that one. By the way, now I guess I can adjust my levels again, because that video, the volume was really low.
All right, so that's it for this video, I think. Yeah, because we went through all of these, and now we're gonna make another video eventually about his garbage disposal and the whole Jasper situation later on. But that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I guess I'll see you in the next one.